All right, we would like to welcome everyone to our 2020 COVID-era middle school JV awards ceremony. And so we are live streaming this today because the governor has limited our gatherings that are not educational to 25, and it goes back to 10 on Friday, so we're working within those parameters. We appreciate the parents that are online in support of us. We're going to do the JV girls volleyball first, and then we will do our developmental cross country, and then you guys will leave and we'll bring the next group in and be ready for that. Let's pray and then we'll get started. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for the opportunity you've given us to compete in sports. I thank you for the safety you provided during this season. Thank you for these young people. I thank you for their coaches and their parents, and just pray that you'll continue to bless them, Lord. Give us a great time here today, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. Coach Vanderbo and JV Volleyball.
Good afternoon, ladies. Haven't seen you for a while. It's good to see y'all. All right. Our volleyball season was very different, to say the least. We had workouts during the summer, having no idea of what the season would look like or if we would even have a season. We weren't even sure if we'd be able to start school. We held tryouts the first week of August with 11 players, including our 3 8th graders that we pulled up. We then added 4 players by the start of school to give us a roster of 15. The players included Gracie Alley, Melina Chapman, Gracie Farmer, Phinia Gamble, Katie Graham, Kate Hoskins, Malia Hughes, Madison Lucas, Emma Mercer, Jessie Reese, Emma Robbins, Allie Smith, Alyssa Tate, Rosalind Torres, and Chloe Villaverde. Okay. Here. And then you should get a candy bar behind you. We didn't start playing until September 8th, and we played virtually in an empty gym, which took some getting used to. The girls often talked about how quiet it was, and we as coaches talked about how we had to create our own energy. Our parents became essential personnel in order to see the games. I would like to thank Mr. Thompson and his crew for setting up the live stream so that parents, grandparents, and friends could see our games. After weeks of practice, we finally started to play with a home match against Greenville Christian. It didn't take long to realize how good this team could be. It wasn't until the 7th match of the season at Friendship Christian that we were given our first challenge. They won the first set, 25-23. We pulled out the second set, 25-22, so we went to a third set. They scored the first 4 points, but I saw a very determined group of young ladies. It was back and forth, and we were able to pull out a 15-13 win to take us to 7-0. Our next challenge came a few matches later against New Life Camp. Due to COVID, our entire team could not travel to the games. Kate Hoskins was quarantined. Gracie Farmer had moved to varsity. We traveled with 8 players, and we knew this match would be our most challenging of the season. I think we surprised everyone with a first set win, 25-23. We hung tough in the second set but lost. By the third set, the girls had given all they had and were not able to pull out the win. We had our one and only loss. We had 3 more matches to go, ending our season at Liberty Christian of Durham. It was great to have Kate back for our final match. We had played Liberty the second match of the season and won easily. It was quite different at their place, but what a great way to end the season with a 25-23 and 25-20 win to give us a 12-1 record. Overall, we won 25 sets and lost 4. We scored 625 points, 120 of those being aces, to our opponents' 396. I'm proud of this team and what they were able to accomplish this season. They practiced hard, played hard, and encouraged each other. They listened to their coaches and worked hard to be the best teammates possible. What a blessing to listen to their prayers during practice and before and after games, and to give God the glory for their talents. We're excited for the future of these young ladies. Now for some thank yous. I would like to thank Mr. Vibo for all his help this season. Many times he came into practice and helped with drills. He drove the bus and helped coach at the games. What a joy it has been able to coach with my son. Thank you to the varsity girls for the many scrimmages during practice. Also, thank you for being line judges and statisticians when needed. Thank you to Mr. Troll for his countless hours of scheduling games and then having to change and reschedule games due to COVID. Thank you for working out the transportation and dismissal times for each team and having everything in place for our home matches. He also kept up with all the COVID rules and regulations we had this season. Thank you to Mrs. Hughes for your faithfulness in keeping the book for many home games, for both the home games and away games. You have no idea what it meant to know that was taken care of each match. Thank you, parents, for becoming essential personnel this year. Your faithfulness to duties and willingness to do whatever was needed was so appreciated. And thank you to Mr. V for your patience during the season. Now, before I get to the actual awards, I would like to recognize one player. She worked hard in each practice and always encouraged her teammates. She was willing to do whatever she was asked and did it with a smile and a willing heart. I would like to give her a special award for the most positive attitude, and that player is Katie Graham. Congratulations, Katie. And now for our awards. Our first award is the Christian Leadership Award. They're the last one, so it should be the first one. There you go. This young lady stepped up and became a team leader both on the court and off. I saw the respect her teammates had for her, and her heart for the Lord is obvious. The Christian Leadership Award goes to Kate Hoskins. Congratulations, Kate. The next award is called the Extra Effort Award. This award goes to the player I think that was the one that we depended on the most. She was our best all-around player, and there were several matches that she just took over with her hitting and serving. Mr. Vibo and I had many discussions concerning Gracie, and it was decided late in the season that she would be moved to the varsity team instead of playing both ways. She always practiced and played hard and with enthusiasm. The Extra Effort Award goes to Gracie Farmer. Is she not in here? The last award is the Coach's Award. At the first practice, I began looking for the player that will go above and beyond what is asked of her. Who was one of the first ones on the court? Who shags balls? Who encourages her teammates? Who works hard on every play and at every drill? There were many afternoons I had to kick this young lady out of the gym so that I could go home. She was a wonderful addition to our team and to WCA. I do have to mention one unique situation that happened. At Hilltop, she went up to hit the ball. It bounced off of her forehead and over the net for the match-winning point. I appreciated her ability to laugh at herself and with her teammates. The Coach's Award this year goes to Emma Mercer. Thank you, ladies, for a great season. I've been blessed to be called your coach.
On behalf of Kate Hoskins and the ladies JV volleyball team, Mrs. V, there's a gift for you.
Thank you.
Yay, Mrs. V.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. V, and congratulations, ladies, on a great season. Our next teams are our developmental/middle school cross-country teams and Coach Andy Kaufman.
All right, good afternoon. Let me get my plaques ready. Here we go. I have one award for one young man who is not here, so I'll do that one first. Just make mention of him. And that was let me give Coach Troll those, we'll give your sheets out. Our top boys runner award this year goes to Nikki Folks, and he's not able to be here. He was by far the fastest runner we had on the team for the boys and did a great job with that. And since he's unable to be here, I do want to mention that, and we'll get his award to him. Before I give out the other awards for the runners that are here, When I think about one thing that I want to say about this cross-country season was that it was a lot of fun and that it was very interesting. And I think that all of that can be summed up in one story. And I think that all the runners will know what story I'm going to tell. That was the meet that we went to in Goldsboro, and that was the Wayne Christian home meet. And we pulled up, got off the bus. Nobody else was there. We were the first team there. Mr. V was leading the varsity team quickly into the course so that they could do the walkthrough, so that they could preview the course. And I went to park the bus, and then I got off the bus and I went to look, and there was no team anywhere to be found. No high school varsity team, no Mr. V, no middle school team, no cooler. They took the cooler with them. And I walked up to go try to find them, and I could not find where they were anywhere. And a long story short is that they started following the varsity team on the walkthrough, and then at some point in time in the middle of the walkthrough got left behind and then got lost in the middle of the woods in this park by the river and still carrying the cooler. And so I ended up going into the trail and trying to find them, and we found a few runners, and then Coach Troll actually ended up going into the trail and into the woods and actually found a few of them. And there came Liam dragging the cooler as if he had been walking across the desert. And they ended up doing about 1.5 miles through the woods trying to find their way and walking around, and the girls were crying and praying that somebody would come find them. And there was Liam still dragging the cooler. And so after that, we had the rule that nobody goes on the walkthrough till I get the bus parked and we get out there so that we can make sure that we all stay together. But we had a great season. It was wonderful. It was awesome to see these girls and boys run and improve. The girls' team had several meets that they won throughout the year because of having 5 and 6 girls on the team. And the boys' team didn't have enough runners to have a team score. We had to have 4 runners, and so that's an important plug for any middle school boys that want to run next year. We need a team score because we have a great chance to do well even with the middle school boys. But the girls did well and then ended up winning the state championship, of course, for middle school. And so that was excellent to see them be able to improve so much throughout the year. So I have a few individual awards for runners that are here. And the first one is one of my personal awards that I give out that's not a plaque, that I give out every year. And this year, it is a bag of candy. And the reason it's a bag of candy is because it needs to be something that tastes good, something sweet, because of what it takes to earn this award. And so this is the Guts Award. Last year, Parker Bunn won this award. This year, the winner of the Guts Award goes to Tatiana Rodriguez. So I'll bring this to you. Okay, and Tatiana wins the Guts Award because on many occasions we got to see her guts, figuratively, and she toughed it out in the race. And even though her foot was hurt, she finished, even sometimes, in pain, but still finished the race. But then once, we got to see her guts literally, and she threw up out here right at the finish line. So she gets the Guts Award. So we do have some other awards that are plaques as well, though. And I'll start with the Most Improved Runner Award. And the Most Improved Runner Award this year, this young lady, at the beginning of the season, I don't think she realized that it was a race and you were supposed to try to beat the other people. I remember watching her run, and it kind of looked like she was looking at the grass, or she was feeling bad about passing somebody. She didn't want the other runners to feel bad because she beat them, and it turns out that she was a lot faster than we originally thought because she started racing. And so by the end of the season, this young lady actually had become our #1 runner at various times, and she was our #1 runner in a couple races. And so our Most Improved Runner this year goes to Micah Thompson. Stand up. Stand up and look this way. Wave at the camera. There you go. All right. We have just 2 more. Our Coaches Award this year is a runner who would exemplify what we want for our runners to do in practice every day. What we want are our runners to work hard, to have a great attitude the whole time, to want to improve, and to be a leader really on the team. And this is the Coaches Award. And so this young lady that earned this award this year always had a good attitude at practice, always worked hard, always did the maximum amount that was asked of her, but also she did the bonus. And the bonuses in cross-country running workouts are not good bonuses. But she always wanted to do those and always begged for us to do more core workouts and more planks because she wanted to work hard and wanted to get better. So this year's Coaches Award goes to Danica Pekarar. I have one last award for our girls team this year, and that's our Top Girls Runner Award. And this young lady was our best runner on the girls team, was our fastest runner, worked hard as well. She was so fast that she got moved up to varsity. And so we were sad about that, but we were also happy for her because she ended up helping out varsity as well and actually ended up doing very well in the varsity state cross-country meet and placing there. But we wanted to recognize her here with middle school because she ran most of the season on the middle school team, but did a great job and has a bright future in cross-country ahead of her, probably only on varsity next year, unfortunately, if I had to guess. She will start up there and be a big contributor, but our top girls runner for this year for our girls team was Leighton Troll. There you go. Thank you. All right, so we are looking forward to a great season again next year, hopefully. And a few thanks go to the parents that provided drinks and all the support that was there. I would like to say a special thanks to Justin Thompson, Mr. Thompson here at school, because of how much he provided for cross-country in live streaming. I've never heard of live streaming a cross-country race, but it happened here this year. And even from a drone, at one point in time, was able to stream online, and that was huge. And also for, we had a manager of Peyton Bridgers was a huge help writing down times and keeping track of times during practice. And then we had parents that took pictures as well and had excellent photos for this year from our teams. And so we had a great cross-country season and looking forward to a good one again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Kaufman, and congratulations, ladies and gentlemen of the developmental cross-country team. We are going to go dark for a few minutes as we empty out one group and bring in another, and we'll be right back on for the JV Soccer Awards. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you for your patience. Gentlemen, you are in your seats and you are distanced by 6 feet, so you can take your mask off. If you would, unless your parents have said you need to keep it on, please take your mask off. When we present the actual team awards, the plaques, Coach Ausley is going to come around and present that to you. If you would stand when he gets there and turn around and face Mr. Vibo at the camera and wave in case your parents are watching at home. Welcome back to our COVID-style middle school JV Fall Awards. We now have the JV boys soccer team in here, and I'm going to turn it over to Coach John Ausley and the JV soccer team.
All right, guys. Hey, first of all, good to be back with you again. It's been a while since we've been together as a team. I'm going to talk like your parents are here, because there's a good chance a lot of them will be watching online. So I'm going to talk like they're here. You'll hear a lot of the stuff you already know. That's okay. So Coach Troll is coming around to pass you out a certificate. That is one of our thank yous for working hard and coming to practice every day and running a mile. And if you walk, you get an extra lap. We all remember them days. But hey, that's your one of your thank yous for me, so thank you for that. I'm going to talk just a little bit about our season. We started off, and we had a very convincing win. You'd remember that, right? We played Greenville. We played a great game. We ended up beating them 8-0. And, hey, it looked like smooth sailing, didn't it? But quickly, we were without Xavier. And Xavier, we were without you for a while, weren't we? And that wasn't any fun, not being with Xavier, one of our good players. But we worked through it, and then we were soon met with adversity. We all remember that game when the opening whistle sounded, and before we knew it, we were down about 4 or 5-0. We all remember that game, don't we? We battled back in that second half. I think, to me personally, halftime of that game, and I think you might agree with me, halftime of that game was one of the most critical points of our season. I think that's where our season turned. If we had played the rest of the season like we played that half, we very easily could have had a really bad losing record. But we battled back, and if you remember, that second half was a lot different, wasn't it? We hit the post a few times that second half. I think we lost the second half 1-0, but that's a lot better than what the first half was. And I think that moment in our season was the turning point. And I think that's the moment that shot us uphill. If you'll remember, we ended the season with a winning record, didn't we? We ended the season unbeaten in about 4 or 5 of our last games. Okay, I think we tied 2 of them and we won the other ones. We finished the season 4-2-2. I think that's a really good record, especially given the circumstances and starting practice late and not playing a ton of games. And I think that is a tribute to you guys because you dug in and you worked every day in practice. You remember the drill we introduced, the gauntlet? You remember the gauntlet? You remember how hard we worked to beat our time? I think that mindset of never being done until we can beat ourselves and get better than what we were, I think that mindset is one that really helped us out. So I'm going to go through a few awards. I mentioned a few position groups. I don't have an award to give every award that I wanted to. To be honest, I wanted to give about 6 or 7 awards, but we just can't do that. But I do have 3 awards today. I think of an award I was not able to give. I wanted to give a Rookie of the Year award, if you will. So someone that was brand new. David, that probably would have gone to you because you saved our bacon quite a few times this year. A lot of times we should have given up a goal. It wasn't a goal because you saved us. So thank you, literally and figuratively. You saved us. So it's a goalie joke, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to get into a few of these awards. I'll get into my first one here. I'm going to give a defensive award, and I think for the defensive award, I tried to look through our different position groups, and realistically, I think our defense was probably potentially the strongest point in our team this year. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I did not know that Arturo would be able to be a really good defender for us. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that let's see here. Where you at? Adair. Didn't know that your left foot and the Adair Ortiz special would come to be a staple on our team. But it worked out that way, and we were able to have a great defense with Cooper in the middle and Jade in the middle. I've decided this year to give our defensive award to a player that I think really held our defense together, both with his leadership as well as his playing ability. So our defensive award, I'm going to give to Jaden McClanahan. Here you go, Jaden. Hey, make sure you face that camera back there. There you go. Yes, you can clap. Absolutely. A recent scientific study I looked at showed that clapping does not spread COVID. I'm just kidding. All right, so here's another one for you. I looked then, what's our 3 position groups, right? We got our defense, we got our midfield, we got our goalie. Or excuse me, we do have a goalie. He's going to be part of the defense. We got our forward, right? We got our offense. I decided to give an offensive award. I think you'd agree with me. This player kept us in and won us a few games. He by far scored the most goals on our team. And I'm going to give this offensive award to Simon Quinn. Congratulations, buddy. Make sure you face that camera, okay? I wasn't able to, I wanted to give a most improved award from last year to this year. So typically a most improved award is going to be somebody that was on the team last year, and then this year, wow, they turned some heads. I'll be honest with you. Me personally, my most improved player would have been Mr. Elijah Webb. Okay, Elijah, you'd agree with me. You went from playing a little bit last year, probably not as much as you wanted to this year. I couldn't take you off the field. You were unbelievably fast, and you scored a lot of goals for us and set up a lot of goals for Simon. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to give that award, but 100% you were my most improved player. I do have one left. Sadly, he's not here. I looked next to my midfield, and it was one of my captains. Okay, 2 of our captains have got awards. It was my other captain. I was going to give my coach's award to Gabe Collins. Gabe, you might be watching at home. If you are, we're proud of you. We're thinking of you. Can't wait till you can come join us again. But my coach's award for leadership goes to Gabe Collins. Everybody give him a round of applause. All right, that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate your hard work this year. Parents, if you're watching at home, thank you so much for your support. I know it wasn't the easiest year, but you really helped us out. You stepped up in a big way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Osley. Congratulations, young men, on a great season. And we are going to go pause for a second while we empty out the JV soccer and bring back in the middle school girls volleyball. We'll see you in just a minute. All right, welcome back to our COVID-era middle school JV fall sports, and this is our final team for the fall. This is the middle school volleyball team and Coach Desiree Brewer, so I will turn it over to Coach Brewer.
Thank you. I think we've said all season, just weird, right? Weird to have a gym full of empty bleachers and no fans. Weird to have no cheering, just weird, all of it. But I thought it was actually going to start out as a weird season because a lot of you didn't come to summer workouts. And so the 4 of you who were here, the 6, I remember going into Mr. Troll's office and I was like, I don't think we're going to have a team. Not because of athletic ability, because there's nobody out there. And I was really concerned about it. He's like, do you really think that'll happen? I'm like, I don't know. And then walked into the first day of tryouts and there was 18 of you little cherubs. And I was like, oh, never mind. So it worked out really well. If you look at last year's team, we had 14 that played last year. From those 14, only 4 were back this year. Whether some moved up or some got pulled up or some just didn't return, whatever the case may be. We started the season with just 4 kids, or 4 players, which I've never done before. So that was an adventure. And then I think Mrs. Schuler asked me for the yearbook, what were my goals for the season? Like, my first goal was to have a team, so check. My second goal was to be able to play in some games, and Mr. Troll did a fabulous job of making sure that we had games on the schedule to be able to play. Even if we had just played 1 game, I would have been fine with that. But you guys got pretty much almost a full season, which is a miracle. And a huge shout out to Mr. Troll. A huge shout out to your parents, the ones that came and took pictures and took video and were trainers and helpers and kept the book. Mrs. Davis did a great job doing that. So just super big thank you. We can say it again. We've all said it because of COVID. It was just weird. But those that could make it, I'm glad that you could be there. Those that couldn't make games, hopefully you could watch them online. That's a new thing that we can add and hopefully continue in seasons from now on. But anyway, so you guys know, you had a great season. We played some JV level teams. We don't know that for a fact, but we got there, and they were significantly larger than us and older than us. And I think we can all agree those were our best games. We stepped up. You guys played amazing. Those are the games. Beating someone, 25-4 is fun because you don't ever have to worry about it. You're just having fun. But losing to someone 21-25, but knowing that you played your very best game to me is so much better. But that's years of maturity as compared to being in middle school. I think as a middle schooler, I would have been brokenhearted to lose a game. But as an adult and as a coach, getting to watch you guys achieve that was far better than beating them. Now, do I want to beat them at some point in time in my coaching career? Yes. Maybe we'll get there one day. But it's good competition. And we worked really hard in those practices leading up to those games. And I just had hopefully you had a fun season. I did. It seemed like it went by really quick. But we just had a good time overall. Just real quick, we have 2 awards. I actually had a 3rd one, but she left. So just to mention Helen, our little tiniest volleyball player, she 8th grader at I think 4'11". But she had tried out last year and didn't make it. I had 20 something that came out last year and she didn't make the cut, but she came back this year. And you guys saw it. She hustled and she worked so hard. And I was super excited to watch her continue through high school as the world's shortest libero. But she left us. So, but to move on to our 2 other awards, one for offense and one for defense. I didn't give out a top player MVP because, as we talked about in some of our games, everybody has a good game, everybody has a bad game. And all of you played a role on the team this year that was crucial to us being as successful as we were. So as a whole, not to sound like upward, but everyone's a winner. But we couldn't have won any game or played in any game if all of you hadn't been there. But I think there's one lady that we can all agree on, that if she went to the back line to serve, it was like, we're going to score 10 points. Because her underhand was amazingly consistent. I told her at the beginning of the season, if I send you back to the line, I need you to score points. And I'm banking on you to do that. And then halfway through the season, this underhand serve switched to an overhand serve. And I was like, where has this been? And so then she rocked the second half of the season with an overhand serve. So our offensive award goes to Miss Lily Hoskins. And then my second award goes to one of our youngest players. And when she came out for tryouts, I I was thinking of all the girls I had heard of that were going to try out. I didn't even have her on my radar. And tryouts happened, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden she goes back to the service line, and I'm like, oh, did anybody else just see that? And the ball went flying over the net, and with some pretty severe force behind it. And I'm like, that's just unheard of as a sixth grader. You just don't see that. And then she continued to play, and this young lady left more skin on the floor, lost her shoes more often than anyone else during a game. But it's because she was hustling. She was going after it. We might need to work on some new volleyball shoes. But she was never going to let the ball hit the floor. She was going to give everything that she had in every single play. But she did it with, and I told this to so many people, she is the most fearless, humble player I've ever had play for me. Because she would be doing things on a volleyball court that coach was just like, wow. And she was like, I don't know, I just got the ball. Like, to her, it just wasn't anything at all. It was, I'm playing sports, and you said the ball can't touch the floor, so I didn't let the ball touch the floor. I ran into a bleacher, almost, I took out a couple players on my way there, but that's what you asked me to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And her humility and just her sweet spirits, but really more her defensive protection on the back line is the reason that Katie McBride is getting the defensive award. With the mask. There you go. Good job. But girls, thank you so much for a great season. To the ones that will be here next season, I'm super looking forward to it. To the 8th graders that are moving on to high school, have fun. We'll be cheering you on. To the ones that know of 6th graders that are coming up, encourage them to come to tryouts and summer workouts, so we don't think that we don't have a team this time around. And looking forward to next season just as much as this one.
All right, before we do one last thing, if Katie and Lily will turn around and wave to the camera without your mask on, so your parents, if they're watching, they can see you. There you go. Thank you very much. And so on behalf of the middle school girls volleyball team, I believe Lily Hoskins has a presentation to give to Coach Brewer and Olivia too. So y'all can come up and present that now. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Coach Brewer. Congratulations on a great season, and that concludes our middle school JV Fall Athletic Awards. You can now be dismissed back to, you have, 4 minutes? Are y'all dismissed at 2:50? So you can go get your books and go home. Have a lovely day, ladies. Thank you.